the giant mistake that the NFL is making, and it is huge. Roger Goodell, you should know better, buddy boy. Instead of choosing this really horrible performance, Bad Bunny, bad disaster for the NFL, okay? Because they're already like up to here, right? They've already encouraged the wrath of most of America. Remember when people just stopped watching because of Colin Kaepernick and the take the knee thing? We had to have the black national anthem, the regular national anthem. I mean, for goodness sakes, we've already been through there. And we came out on the other side, and this is what they want to take us back to. Somebody who is very, very polarizing, very, I'm just going to say it, disgusting. Okay, so I went and looked up these lyrics, and tú sabes que yo hablo español. See, I speak Spanish, even though I'm Irish. Go figure. I speak a lot of languages, actually. I have a knack for them. It must be the music thing. Anyway, I'm looking at this stuff in Spanish, and I'm like, okay, I can't bring this to you in Spanish, let alone English. So how exactly is he going to be on the stage on FCC-controlled airwaves? This is Brendan Carr. This is your specialty. I think you need to step up to the plate. Okay, so they get a bad pick. This is the Bad Bunny, who likes to like wear makeup and funny clothes and is very like fluid because you got to support the LGBTQ and God knows what, however many letters. I never get that right. But I would just say, like, this is not the time and the place. Oh yeah. Apparently he likes to wear dresses with big boots and sneakers too. It is neither the time nor the place. This is somebody who is uber political, somebody who does not like Donald Trump, somebody who actually came out and said this one. Okay, he used a word that is a bad word about ICE. Maldito, he said. There are many reasons why he didn't show up in the U.S. He decided to cancel his U.S. tour, and none of them was out of hate. All of the shows have been successful. We were talking, and we were very concerned that the maldito, he said, ICE could be outside my concert. Okay, so that's the reason. And yet, apparently when Roger Goodell and the NFL offer you a big enough paycheck, you're willing to come back, with dresses and rhinestones on. Right? Like, you're ready to party. Now that somebody's willing to foot the bill in a big way, here he is talking about how he won't perform in the United States. Again, unless the NFL comes calling.
I'm never performing in the U.S. again. I'm scared that ICE might raid the venue outside my show. And honestly, I can't risk the safety of my fans like that. Mainland America just doesn't feel necessary to me anymore. I've already performed.
Mainland America just does not feel necessary to me anymore. Who needs America? I mean, I'm Puerto Rican and I'm just going to play the Puerto Rican circuit and the Mexican circuit and God knows what else, but I'm not going to the United States of America. No, don't need them. Well, not until the NFL calls.
There are plenty of times fans in the U.S. have had lots of chances to see me live. That being said, I still care deeply about my Latino and Puerto Rican fans living in the States. Seeing me perform in Puerto Rico is always an option. That's why in my upcoming world tour, there are no stops in the continental US. This isn't about hate, it's about responsibility and respect. I want my Latino and Boricua fans to understand that you're always in my heart. You can come see me in Puerto Rico or catch me in one of the other countries I'm visiting, but I can't, in good conscience, keep putting you at risk just to perform in the mainland US. I know for a lot of people, this feels like a sacrifice, but I want my stage to be a place of unity. My music is about love, about belonging. It's not supposed to be a reason to live in fear.
Okay, Roger, what are you thinking? Comcast, NBC, what are you thinking? Hey, Bob Iger over at ABC. I mean, you got a deal pending that you're going to need DOJ approval, FCC approval, and, well, maybe a few others. I'm thinking FTC approval as well. I mean, do you really want to be poking the bear, so to speak? Doesn't the president usually go to the Super Bowl, right? Now you're going to have this... what's his name? I want to keep calling him Big Bunny, but he's Bad Bunny up there, who's going to be a bad disaster, who's going to be super political. All of his songs are. I mean, I actually researched this. This is like not what I normally like to do in my spare time, shall we say. Look at lyrics like Bad Bunny's lyrics, but there's a song called Zafaera, and it came out in 2020, and it is so bad, you guys. Like, it is so bad. I actually had a graphic made up and I crossed out the swear words, but I just can't actually. You can go look it up if you want. Like, it's bad. I'm like, you know what? This is not appropriate. Like, it's not appropriate for adults, let alone children that might actually, I don't know, young people could be watching this show. We try to keep it clean, okay? We try to keep it clean. Clearly, Bad Bunny does not try to keep it clean. Oh, but the kids don't know because it's all in Spanish and nobody can understand him. Anyway, even in Spanish. I was actually talking with a friend of mine who immigrated to this country legally from Argentina, and she's like, you know what? I can't understand him in Spanish, and I can't understand him in English. He just doesn't articulate his words very well. Well, maybe when you're saying things like that, it's like a safe way to go. Maybe you don't want to articulate those words so well because those words are really, really bad. I mean, we're talking total glorifications of all kinds of like misogynist, sexual stuff that we're not going to get into. Total objectification of women. Any parent would be horrified to hear this. Just horrified. Or adult, okay? Adult. There's glorification of drug and alcohol in his songs tied to all this party life. And there's very violent undertones in these early, what they call trap tracks. See? I'm actually a classical musician by background, but occasionally I step into learning a few things about Latino rap. This guy is bad news, okay? So Roger Goodell goes out and thinks, well, we got to get more international, right? So let's go and hire him, even though he said all these things about maldito ice. I mean, that couldn't come at a worse time, right? Consider what's been going on. By the way, we've had a lot of tragedy. You know that over the weekend, and my heart goes out to everyone, and I'm saying prayers. And it shouldn't be like this. It just shouldn't be like this. And we need to find some way to come together. So therefore, it's not by bringing an artist like this in to sow more division at the Super Bowl. It really should be about, finding someone who can unite everybody. I mean, I'd take Taylor Swift at this point. I mean, she's getting married, right? She's succumbed to societal pressure, marrying one Travis Kelce. But look, I mean, hey, what happened to Adele? What happened to, there's plenty of people out there. But, sometimes I think these executives just aren't so smart, or they're so full of themselves, right? They're billionaires in their own right. One Bob Iger over at Disney, which owns ESPN, and one Roger Goodell, which owns the NFL. Now, they're doing this merger, you see, between ESPN and the NFL. And this merger actually is something that, they're going to need approval for. DOJ, FTC, FCC could weigh in. The plan is to acquire the NFL Network, the NFL's linear red zone channel, distribution, and also NFL Fantasy. Now, NFL is going to receive 10% equity stake in the deal in ESPN if this whole thing goes through. But again, they're waiting on approval. And I'm not so sure that the approval is going to come. I mean, what Brennan's been saying. He's been looking into ABC already and Disney. He launched an investigation. He's concerned about their DEI practices. Now they go out and do this on the heels of the Kimmel thing? I mean, Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, for goodness sakes. I mean, that was just awful, 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 awful. And my friend Charlie and his memory just being, treated so improperly in that, and the idea that Sinclair and the other one, Nexstar, are coming back to the table. Shame on them. They really should have gotten rid of this show absolutely forever for good. But I will say this merger's at risk. I mean, if I'm the Trump administration, am I going to bend over backwards to help you guys when you get this really, really aggressively anti-American and then anti-law enforcement performer, likely, who is going to be saying things on the stage? And if you look at all of his songs, they all have plenty of swear words in them. Again, they're in Spanish, and nobody can understand him because he doesn't pronounce well in Spanish nor in English. So does it fly by the FCC? No. Brennan's going to be all over this, okay? So I'm looking at him like, boy, NBC, that's not really very good news for you. Weren't you trying to be your own thing, right? That's why you spun off, We're about to spin off all those cable entities because you want to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Now you get this insanity coming your way, and believe me, it is insanity. I mean, this guy is bad news. The stuff is disgusting. And again, I couldn't even put it. I had it on a graphic. I showed it to someone this morning. I'm like, can you believe this? Look, I can't say these things. I would not feel comfortable saying these things, but he's out there singing them away. And, you know, this is what is part of the problem, honestly, with society. When you've got a cultural element like that thinks that abuse of women or the glorification of that party scene is okay, then we have a real problem. And then you get the NFL saying, ho, bring it on. Let's have a party, and this will help us somehow. This is going to help us be bigger and better and more international, because that's part of the goal here. They're trying to go really international. I will say this, you're putting so much at risk. You're putting your ABC deal at risk. You're putting NBC at risk. All for what? Because you want to be able to say, hey, we can go big, we can go wide, we can go global with our football. You know what? I'll tell you, the Europeans are never really going to love it. I did talk to my cousins in Ireland this weekend. Apparently, some people did watch the Steelers-Vikings and game that was happening in Dublin. And that is a big, push that they're making, okay? So, Roger Goodell wants to have 16 games internationally, and he wants to take football along with Bob Iger all over the world. So they want to make it big. Okay, that's fine. That's a good business, lofty goal for you guys to have. But do we have to suffer in the process? Do we have to suffer with the halftime show because you think that you want to recruit more people in the Hispanic community to watch? That's not cool. That's not cool. Okay, Roger Goodell emphasizes NFL's global vision as Steelers-Vikings meet in their Ireland debut again in Dublin over the weekend. It carries so much weight because they're going to go global with this thing. They want to have 16 different countries. They want everybody to love football. But what are we giving up in the process? Okay, we're exporting football. Fine. But why are we importing people who don't like America? Who don't want to come to America, and unless you offer them $1 gazillion. People with really, really, really bad language that they're promoting to our youth, I don't think it's worth it, frankly. I really don't. This is him in Allure. Allure magazine did a whole profile on this guy because apparently he's the hottest thing since sliced bread over Spotify, actually. He does very, very well for music downloads on Spotify. Again, I don't think people really do know what they're listening to, but if you do, you'll find out pretty quick. He's bad news. So what does it mean for NBC? Well, I will tell you, it's probably going to put NBC in a very treacherous place. Remember years ago, we were talking about that when Janet Jackson had her wardrobe malfunction, and that was a big mess. And there were FCC fines that had to be paid. And I think that was an honest to God, just a mistake. Well, what happens here? If this person gets up and says some of the things that he will likely say, I can also tell you, he said some terrible things about the president, and that actually, in a terrible word, let me bring it up for you because the translation doesn't even totally capture it. I don't even know if I can say this word. Okay. So why don't I go with this? I'll give you a euphemism for it. It's basically, no, I can't even fully, it's so crazy inappropriate. Okay, how about the C word for a woman? It's as bad or worse than that, what this guy is calling the president. So again, I go back to why are we doing this? Why are we putting somebody on the air who is, frankly, in my estimation, so filled with hate that he would call the president that bad word in Spanish, and we're going to just sit there and take it? I don't think so. NBC, wake up. ESPN, wake up. All of you better wake up to the risk that you are putting upon yourself and your shareholders, because listen, you want to be in good stead with the FCC, and don't give me this free speech nonsense. There are rules, and you cannot swear Even if it's in another language, you can't have these kinds of lyrics. It's got to actually change. And I would say that Brendan's going to be all over it, okay? He's not going to allow for this. So you better wake up and you better recognize, NFL, get with the program. My recommendation is you get rid of Bad Bunny. If you can't get rid of Bad Bunny, we're going to get rid of you. Okay, people just aren't going to watch. This is what happened before. You finally got your ratings back, but you can't seem to recognize where the public really is. No, you just have to keep pushing it. Maybe because, I don't know, Roger and Bob want to, mess with Donald Trump. Maybe because you want to prove something like, oh, maybe you don't want your merger to go through. I don't know. But listen, this is not a good move.